It's Cleveland Indians baseball. Getting toward the end of the season. It will be Saturday, September 18th at Yankee Stadium as the Indians take on the Yankees. The Indians have been having a terrible September. So far, winning only 4 games in the month. Since August 31st, they have gone 4-12. They just had an 8 game losing streak, but they've won. Ellie Jr. is here, getting in the way. They've won 2 out of their last 3. They won on Thursday at Cleveland Stadium against the Red Sox, 5-4 in 10 innings, and they split a doubleheader here at Yankee Stadium last night, winning Game 1 5-4, and then losing Game 2 3-2 in 11 innings. Wichita manager Ken Aspromonte was in Cleveland after the Arrows season ended, and he revealed that he had been talking to the Indians front office, that he is putting his name into consideration for Indians manager at some point. He said that he doesn't want to see Johnny LaPont fired, but oh, he, based on the Indians' performance in September, it's tough to see that he'll be back as the manager next season. We'll be right back with the starting lineups. Oh, all right, here we are at Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. Mike Paul takes him out for Cleveland. He's made 12 starts. He's 8-2 on the year with an ERA of 2.84. He's done very well. He got hurt in spring training, started the season in Wichita, and since coming back up, he has been pitching very well. Steve Klein takes him out for the Yankees. Ow! Ah! Sorry, Allie Jr. just bit me. Steve Klein has made 25 starts on the year. He has a record of 13-7 with an ERA of 3.18. This is his second start against Cleveland. He's 1-0 with an ERA of 1 point against the Indians. It's 71 degrees. It's a warm day in mid-September. And I guess I should have mentioned that Mike Paul will be making his first start against the Yankees. For the Indians, their starting lineup: leading off, the center fielder, Vada Pinson. Batting second, the first baseman, Chris Chambliss. Batting third, the left fielder, Ted Uhlaender. Batting fourth, the third baseman, Greg Nettles. Batting fifth, the catcher, Ray Fosse. Batting sixth, the shortstop, Fred Stanley. Batting seventh, the right fielder, Roy Foster. Batting eighth, the second baseman, Eddie Leone. And batting ninth, the pitcher, Mike Paul. On defense, the Yankees will have Felipe Alou at first base, Ron Hansen at second, Frank Baker at short, Jerry Kenny at third, Roy White in left, Bobby Mercer in center field, Ron Swoboda in right field, John Ellis catching, and on the mound is Steve Klein. Steve Klein, his best pitch is a slider. He tends to keep the ball low. And spoiler alert, Steve Klein, future member of the Cleveland Indians. And once again, I apologize for this stadium photo. This is my least favorite of the stadium photos that well, no, I take that back. This is second least favorite. My least favorite one right now that I use is from Comiskey Park with the AstroTurf area around the mound. Leading off is the center fielder, Veda Pinson. He's hitting .258 with 13 home runs and 48 runs batted in. First pitch is a curveball. Grounder into right field. Base hit that gets all the way to the wall. Swoboda's chasing it down. Pinson rounds first. He's rounding second. Going for third. He slides. He's safe with a triple. Oh. And I got Ellie Jr. up here with me. Doing what she does best. Getting in the way. Here is the first baseman, Chris Chambliss, who's hitting .302, 12 home runs, and 45 runs batted in. Here's a changeup, ball one. Too high, ball two on the slider. Strike one called. Chase one out of the strike zone, strike two, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Chambliss hits a base hit in the left field. Pinson scores. Indians take a 1-0 lead. Cleveland and New York both playing out the string now since Baltimore clinched the American League East for the 3rd season in a row. Since going to divisional play in 1969, the Orioles have won the American League East in each of those 3 years. In the National League, the Dodgers have clinched the National League West. You may recall they won the National League West in 1969 and ended up playing in the World Series against the heavily favored Orioles, and the Dodgers won that series 4-2. Here's Ted Uhlaender. He's hitting .294. 2 home runs, 46 runs batted in. The assumption in Cleveland right now is he is playing out the string as a member of the Cleveland Indians, along just like Veda Pinson and Sam McDowell. All 3 of those players are expected to be traded and no longer members of the team in 1972. First pitch, there goes Chambliss for second. It's a ball. Throw to second. Not in time. Chambliss is safe with his 3rd stolen base. Ellie Jr., she was good as gold until I put my headphones on. Okay, we have 1 ball, no strikes. Runner on second. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Curveball, too high, ball 2. It's a roller to short. Baker throws the first. 1 out. Chambliss took third. Here is Greg Nettles, hitting .273, 40 home runs, 120 runs batted in. Nettles having a great season, but he's been slumping pretty hard in September. He's only hitting .164 for the month. He has 3 home runs in September out of 10 hits. He has played in every inning of every game this year. So he might just be pushing through some fatigue. Outside, ball 1. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Hits one right back to the box. Klein has it. Looks Chambliss back to third. Throws to first. 2 outs. Here's Ray Fosse. He's hitting .295 with 9 home runs and 67 runs batted in. He's been hitting for a good average this year, but after he broke his hand last season, it seemed like it sapped him of his power this year. He's hitting .288 in September. High and tight, ball 1. Ball 2. Ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes. It's in there below the belt. Strike 1. Fly ball into center field. Mercer coming in, and he has it. 3 outs. Cleveland gets 1 run. 2 hits, no errors. They left 1 on base. We played 1 half inning. It is Cleveland 1. New York coming to bat. New York will have Felipe Alou leading off. He's the first baseman. Batting second to right fielder, Ron Swoboda. Batting third to center fielder, Bobby Mercer. Batting fourth the left fielder, Roy White. Batting fifth the catcher, John Ellis. Batting sixth the third baseman, Jerry Kenney. Batting seventh the second baseman, Ron Hansen. Batting eighth the shortstop, Frank Baker. Batting ninth the pitcher, Steve Klein. On defense, the Indians have Chris Chambliss at first, Eddie Leone at second, Fred Stanley at shortstop, Greg Nettles at third, Ted Uhlaender in left field, Vada Pinson in center, Roy Foster in right, Ray Fosse catching, and on the mound, Mike Paul. Mike Paul, throws a fastball. He doesn't throw as hard as guys like McDowell or Dunning, but he's been pitching very well. He came up on July 10th, and he's 8-2 with an ERA of 2.87. Leading off is Felipe Alou. Came over in the first week of the season, a trade with Oakland. He's hitting .328, 12 home runs, 86 runs batted in. Hitting .443 against Cleveland. 12 home runs, or with 3 home runs and 12 RBIs. 3-1 pitch, ball 4. Here is Ron Swoboda, right fielder, hitting .273, no home runs, no runs batted in. Came over to the Yankees on June 25th. Kind of talked his way out of the Mets. He was considered a bad influence in the clubhouse there, and they weren't seemed like they were getting anxious to get rid of him. Got the inside corner, strike 1. It's fly ball to center field. Pinson going back, he's got it. 1 out. Here's Bobby Mercer. He's hitting .301, 23 home runs, 96 runs batted in. Mercer spent 2 years in the military, 1967, 1968. Came back as a full-time player in 1969, and then in 1969-1970, he had identical .241 batting averages. And this year he's hitting .301. Looks like he is playing up to the potential that he held before he went in the Army. High, ball 1. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Hits a fly ball in center field. Pinson going back. He's near the track. He's got it. 2 outs. Here's Roy White, the left fielder, hitting .294, 8 home runs, and 51 runs batted in. Too high, ball one. Pops it up, third base side, foul ground. Nettles is after it, but it makes the seats. Strike one. It's a grounder right back to the pitcher. Paul has it, throws him out. No runs, no hits, no errors, one left. We played 1 inning in New York. It is the Indians 1, the Yankees nothing. In the National League East, Pittsburgh's in first place, 8.5 games ahead of Chicago. They have a magic number of 3. And in the American League West, the White Sox are in first place, 4 games ahead of Oakland. They have a magic number of 9. Oakland got to within 2 games of Chicago when they won the first game of a doubleheader against the White Sox. I believe that was on Tuesday. And then Chicago won the second game, putting them 3 games up. And right now they are 4 games ahead of Oakland, but next week, I believe on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, they have a 3-game series in Oakland. And that could be the deciding factor in that race. Leading off for Cleveland in the second, Fred Stanley, the shortstop, hitting .272 with 5 home runs, 43 runs batted in. He was having a great rookie season, and then he went away for military duty, and he's cooled off since coming back. Hasn't been swinging the bat the same since he returned. He's been striking out a lot. At one point, he had at least 1 strikeout in 7 consecutive games. Hitting .158 in September. The 1-1 pitch. Pops it up on the infield. Hansen takes charge, and he has it for 1 out. Here's Roy Foster, the right fielder. He's hitting .248 with 19 home runs, 69 runs batted in. Oop. Gave a replay for some reason. Some technical difficulties here at Channel 8 on WJST. Parma, Tuscaloosa, Norwich, and Utah. It's grounder to second. Hansen up with it. Throw to first. 2 outs. Here's Eddie Leon, the second baseman, hitting .278, 6 home runs, 47 runs batted in. They pretty much left Eddie Leon alone this season, letting him play a lot, and he had a good season. Started giving up some rest days in August, and it seems like that it agreed with him. The 0-2 pitch. Another grounder to second. Hansen, throw to first, 3 outs. Nothing across for the Indians. Ron Hansen earning his pay that inning. Bottom of the second. Cleveland leads 1-0. John Ellis leads off for the Yankees. The catcher, he's hitting .282, 3 home runs, 29 runs batted in. Ellis in his second year. And spoiler alert, future member of the Cleveland Indians, where he becomes Frank Robinson's enforcer. The 0-2 pitch. Base hit into center field. Pinson bobbles it. And Ellis takes second. They're calling that a single and an error. So runner on second, nobody out. And here's Jerry Kenny, the third baseman, hitting .254 with 1 home run, 29 runs batted in. Jerry Kenny, he's been highly touted since coming up in 1969. And spoiler alert, future member of the Cleveland Indians. Just like somebody go look at the Indians lineup right now and see that 3/4 of their infield ends up playing with the Yankees. Lays down a bunt. Nettles throws a Stanley covered third. They got him. Ellis out at third. Kenny takes first on the fielder's choice. That was a gutty play by Nettles. I don't know if anybody in the American League's playing a better third base than Greg Nettles, or even in the major leagues. Here is Ron Hansen, the second baseman. He's hitting .240, 5 home runs, and 21 runs batted in. Ron Hansen, 33 years old. He's been around a long time. He came up with Baltimore for some cups of coffee in 1958, and he's been pretty much a major league regular since 1960. Played with Baltimore, the White Sox, and the Senators before coming to New York in 1970. He swings, he tipped that one, foul tip, strike one. Inside, ball one. Swing and a miss, strike two. Swung at a bad pitch, strike three. First strikeout for Mike Paul. 2 outs, and here is Frank Baker. He's not to be confused with Frank Baker, who's playing with the Indians. This Frank Baker is a shortstop. He's hitting .245, the home runs, 6 runs batted in. Way off the plate, ball one. Up and away, ball two. Slow roller down the first base line. That's foul. Hits a sharp grounder to first. Chambliss has it. He'll take it himself. 3 outs. No runs. 1 hit, no errors. 1 left. We played 2. Excuse me. Yankee Stadium. Cleveland 1, New York nothing. Mike Paul leads off for the Indians. He's hitting .077 with no home runs, 1 run batted in. He is 2 for 26 on the year at the plate. The 0-2 pitch. In there at the knee, strike 3 called. First strikeout for Steve Kline. Here's Vada Pinson. He's 1 for 1. He led off the game with a triple. The 0-1 pitch. Pops it up, third base side, foul ground. Kenny is after it. And he's got it. 2 outs. Here's Chris Chambliss. He's 1 for 1. He singled in the first. That scored Veda Pinson with the game's only run. It's ground ball in a right field base hit. He'll stop at second. That's his second hit or he'll stop at first. That's his second hit of the game. Instead, Uhlaender, he's 0 for 1. He grounded to short in the first inning. Chambliss had stole second, and that moved Chambliss to third base. Hitting .297 against right-handers. Ball 1. Greg Nettles on deck. High pop-up. First base side, foul ground. Allou's after it, but it makes a stand. Strike 1. It's a ground ball down the first base line. That's foul. Grounder right back to the box. Klein bobbles it. He can't hold on to it. Uhlaender safe on first. Chambliss on second. It's Steve Klein's second error of the year. There's Greg Nettles. He's slumping, but always dangerous at the plate. He's 0 for 1. He grounded to the pitcher in the first inning. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Low and away, ball 1. Regular season has about a week and a half to go. I believe it ends on Thursday, let me see. Yeah, Thursday, September 30th. Two of the 4 races have already been determined who's the winner was. The winner is almost ready to be crowned. And one is still up for grabs. Strike 2, ball 2. Strike 2, 2 outs. Low, ball 3, full count, 2 outs. The payoff pitch. It's a shallow fly ball into center field. Mercer coming in, Baker going back. Mercer has it. No runs, 1 hit, 1 error, 2 left. We go to the bottom of the third. Cleveland 1, New York 0. Steve Klein leads off for the Yankees. He's hitting .164, no home runs, 5 runs batted in. He has 11 hits on the season. The 0-2 pitch. Hits a blooper to second. And Leone is there to take it. 1 out. Here's Felipe Alou. He walked in the first inning. The 1-1 pitch. Base hit into left field. Says Uhlaender should have made that play. So they have 1 out, 1 out. Here's Ron Swoboda, who's 0 for 1. It's a liner in the right field. That's a base hit. Lou stops at second. So we have runners on first and second, 1 out. Here's Bobby Mercer, who is 0 for 1. He flied to center field in the first inning. Liner down the first base line. That's foul. It's fly ball in center field. Foster going back. It's gone. Home run. Number 24 for Bobby Mercer. And the Yankees take a 3-1 lead. That went 353 feet. Here's Roy White. He's 0 for 1. He grounded to the pitcher back in the first. It's base hit in the right field. Foster throws it back in. We have runner on first, 1 out. Here's John Ellis, who's 1 for 1. He singled to center in the second and took second on Pinson's error. Caught the outside corner, strike 1. Outside corner again, strike 2. Just missed the plate low, ball 1. Strike 3 called. 2 outs. Here's Jerry Kenny, who's 0 for 1. He bunted in the second inning, and Nettles threw John Ellis out at third. Strike 1 called. Breaking ball, low and away, ball 1. Inside, ball 2. Up and tight, ball 3. 3 balls and 1 strike. Ball 4. Second walk given up by Mike Paul. Here's Ron Hansen, who's 0 for 1. He struck out in the second inning. Hitting .217 with runners in scoring position. Ball 2. Swing and a miss, strike 1. That's high, ball 3. It's fly ball in the left field. Uhlaender moving back, and he's got it. 3 outs. Yankees get 3 runs, 4 hits, no errors. They left 2 men on base. We played 3 at Yankee Stadium. It's the Yankees 3, the Indians 1. Take a look around the league. Top of the second in Montreal. Cardinals lead the Expos 7-0. That's Bob Gibson against Steve Renko. Top of the fourth in Pittsburgh. No score between the Mets and the Pirates. It's Tug McGraw against Bob Johnson. Pirates have a magic number of 3 over the Cubs. And top of the second in Philadelphia, the Cubs lead the Phillies 6-0. That is Bill Bonham against Ken Reynolds. In Chicago, Ernie Banks, he is stalled at 499 home runs. I believe he got his 499th in June. And I'm wondering now if he's going to reach 500, because it's been pretty well accepted that this is his last season as a player. He hasn't announced his retirement yet, but he's expected to. And bottom of the third in Detroit, the Tigers lead the Orioles 1-0. That's Dave McNally against Mickey Lolich. Baltimore's already secured the AL East title, and they have Frank Robinson, who is sitting, I believe he has 497 home runs. He may hit number 500 before the season's out. He got off to a really slow start this year, but began picking it up in June. He was starting to look like he might be washed up in April and May, but he isn't anymore. For the Indians in the fourth, leading off is Ray Fosse, who is 0 for 1. He flied out to center in the first inning. The 1-1 pitch. Grounder to the pitcher. Klein takes it. They're racing to the bag, and Klein got him. 1 out. Here's Fred Stanley. He's 0 for 1. He popped to the second baseman in the second inning. The 2-0 pitch. He hits a base hit in the right field. Here's Roy Foster. He represents the tying run. He's 0 for 1. He grounded to second in the second inning. High and in, ball 1. Fouls it back, strike 1. It's It's bouncer to first. Throw to Baker. And there's no throw to first. Stanley's out at second. Foster takes first on the fielder's choice. And here's Eddie Leone. He's 0 for 1. He grounded to second in the second inning. Pitches a strike. There goes Foster. And Ellis doesn't make a throw. It's stolen base number 9 for Roy Foster. Ellis pumped, but didn't let go. So the 0-1 pitch. Foster going for third. Throw to Kenny. He's safe. That's his second stolen base of the game. His 10th of the year. And that pitch was a ball. Ball one. One ball, one strike. Change up. Base hit in the left field. Foster scores. It's 3-2. Here's Mike Paul, the pitcher. He's 0 for 1. He struck out in the third inning. Swing and a miss, strike one. Inside, ball one. Right down the middle for strike two. Low and outside, ball two. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Strike 3 called. But the Indians get 1 run, 2 hits, no errors. They left 1 on base. We go to the bottom of the 4th. It is New York 3, Cleveland 2. Frank Baker leads off for the Yankees. He's 0 for 1. He grounded to Chambliss back in the second inning. The 2-2 pitch. Base hit in right field. Foster throws it in. It's hit number 6 for New York. Here's Steve Klein, the pitcher. He is 0 for 1. He lined to Leone back in the third inning. He's a good bunter. Oh, he balked. That sends Frank Baker to second. Klein lays out a bunt, but that goes foul. Strike one. Lays out a bunt. Nettles to Leone for the out. And Baker takes third on the sacrifice. So we have 1 out, runner on third. Here is Felipe Alou, who's 1 for 1. He walked and he singled. Ow! Ah. And Ellie Jr. up to Herb antics. Ball 1. Curveball wide, ball 2. High and tight, ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes. Ball 4. We have runners on first and second. 1 out. Here's Ron Swoboda, who's 1 for 2. Fly to right field, and he singled in the third. He singled, he scored. Bouncer to Leone. This could be 2. Throws it a plate. He's out. Thought he was going to go for the double play, but he saw Baker cutting for the plate, and he threw him out. Let's watch that one again. Yeah, he had Baker out by a mile. Here's Bobby Mercer. He's 1 for 2. Flat out in the first, he had a 3-run homer in the third. He's at 99 RBIs right now, hitting 323 in September. Low, ball 1. It's a shallow fly ball in the right field. Foster coming in, Leone, Chambliss going back, and Foster has it. 3 outs, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, 2 left. We played 4 complete. Yankees lead the Indians 3-2. Yankees have 3 runs, 6 hits, 1 error. They've left 6 men on base. Indians have 2 runs, 5 hits, 1 error. They've left 4 men on base. Indians scored first in the first inning when Vada Pinson led off with a triple. Chambliss drove him home with a single. Chambliss ended up making it to third with only 1 out, but they weren't able to get him around to score. Then in the third inning, with 1 out, Felipe Alou singled. Then Ron Swoboda singled. Runners on first and second. Bobby Mercer had a 3-run homer, making it 3-1. And then in the fourth inning, with 1 out, Fred Stanley singled. Then Roy Foster grounded to first. He forced Stanley at second. Then Foster stole second. He stole third, and he scored on Eddie Leone's single. That made it 3-2. That's where we're at right now. And Vada Pinson leads off the fifth. He is 1 for 2. He led off the game with a triple. Scored the Indians' first run. The 0-2 pitch. Grounder up the middle. Hansen to his right. Has it. Throw to first. Throw is low. But Alou keeps it in front of him. Pinson safe on first, and they're calling that an error on Ron Hansen. Here's Chris Chambliss. He's 2 for 2 today. He singled in the first and singled in the third. Hitting .351 against right-handers. Curveball. There goes Pinson. To throw, he is safe. That's his 28th stolen base of the year. Pinson's been unhappy playing in Cleveland and living in Cleveland. Doesn't feel like the Indians management has been straight with him. He was one of the players involved in the contract controversy along with Greg Nettles and Sam McDowell. Where the commissioner's office said that there were illegal performance clauses in their contracts. Sam McDowell actually jumped the team and declared himself a free agent before being enticed back. But despite Pinson's unhappiness with being in Cleveland, he's had a good 2 seasons with the Indians. He spent the bulk of his career in Cincinnati, then went to the Cardinals in 1969 and came to the Indians in 1970. For some reason, the Cardinals thought he was some kind of like malcontent in the clubhouse. And the Indians traded, I believe it was Jose Cardinal, because he was thought to be a malcontent in the Indians clubhouse. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Ball two. In fact, I'm going to take a short timeout. And I am back. I looked it up, and indeed, Veda Pinson was traded for Jose Cardinal. And I remember reading that it was considered a swap of clubhouse problems. And I was a little surprised because I never read anything about Veda Pinson being a clubhouse problem when he was with Cincinnati. And I've read that his problems at Cleveland last season was mostly because his family didn't like living in Cleveland. Because I believe he's from the Bay Area, from San Francisco. Because he has said that he wants to be traded to a West Coast team. And the Indians said that they will try to oblige him on that. Okay, we're back. It's a 2-1 count. Nobody out. Chambliss at the plate. Pinson on second. Swing and a miss. Strike two. Swing and a miss. Strike three. I swear I'm not trying to imitate Joe Tate doing that. Here's Ted Uhlaender. He's 0 for 2 today. Swing and a miss. Strike one. He's another player who's been unhappy in his tenure with the Indians. Said he hates playing at Cleveland Stadium, and he does not like the Indians front office. And he actually jumped the team for about a week in the 1971 season, and Alvin Dark went to his home and talked him into coming back. And apparently him and Dark hashed it out. There was no disciplinary action taken. Uhlaender had like a nagging, day-to-day type injury. And Dark made it sound like he thought it was more of Uhlaender being depressed about that, about his injury and losing some playing time more than anything else. But Uhlaender is also not expected to be a member of the Indians next season. Ball one. And like Pinson, I mean, he said he's been unhappy being with the Indians since he came over from Minnesota. He came over in the trade that brought Greg Nettles over, that sent Louis Tiant. And let me see who else. The guy, his name is on the tip of my tongue. The other guy that went over there, and I can't think of it. Stan Williams. Stan Williams and Louis Tiant went to Minnesota, and Dean Chance, Bob Miller, and Greg Nettles, along with Uhlaender, came to Cleveland. And boy, Dean Chance, he pitched pretty good with Cleveland. Then he went over to the Mets, and he's with the Tigers this year, and has a terrible record. I think he's like 1-11 or something, but he's pitching a little better, I think, than his record would show, because Billy Martin keeps sending him out. But Uhlaender, despite not being happy in Cleveland, he's had 2 solid seasons with the Indians, just like Pinson has. Swing and a miss, strike two. That's high, ball two. Ball three, full count. Grounder up the middle. Hansen to his right has it. Throw to first. 2 outs. Pinson takes third. There's Greg Nettles. He's 0 for 2 today. Grounded at the pitcher in the first. Flied out to left in the third. Fosse's on deck. Way outside, ball one. It's grounder to second. Hansen, throw to first. Throw is low. Alou kept it in front of him. But they don't get the out. And Pinson scores. That ties the game. So Nettles on first. 2 outs. Here's Ray Fosse. He's 0 for 2. That's Hansen's second error of the game. Fosse flied out in the first, grounded out in the fourth. There goes Nettles. Throw to second. He's safe. It's his 8th stolen base of the year. They're taking advantage of John Ellis's arm, I think. His arm is not quite as good as Thurman Munson's is. So, it's a shallow fly ball. Nope, it's going back out. Mercer's there, and he's got it. 3 outs. But the Indians get 1 run. No hits, 2 errors. They left 1 man on base. We go to the bottom of the 5th. Cleveland 3, New York 3. Roy White leads off. Roy White leads off for the Yankees. He's 1 for 2. Grounded out, and he's singled in the third. Inning 316 in Chicago. 1-1 pitch. Grounder to short. Stanley can't handle it. White's safe. Nobody out. Here is John Ellis, who's 1 for 2. He singled in the second. Struck out in the third. Hits a grounder to third. Or grounder to first. Chambliss underhands it to Paul, covering first. He's out. 1 out. Roy White takes second. Here's Jerry Kenny. He's 0 for 1. He bunted to third in the second, and they threw John Ellis out at third, and he walked in the third inning. It's fly ball into center field. Pinson going back. He's got it. 2 outs. Roy White holds at second. Here's Ron Hansen. He's 0 for 2. He struck out in the second, flied out in the third. Baker's on deck. Ball one. Across the knees, strike one. Right now, the baseball postseason is scheduled to start on Saturday, October 2nd. Game 1 of the American League Championship Series will be in Baltimore. And that will be Chicago or Oakland against the Orioles. And Game 1 of the National League Championship Series is scheduled to be in Los Angeles, and that will be Los Angeles against either Pittsburgh or Chicago. Strike 3 called. No runs, no hits, 1 error, 1 left. We have played 5 innings. Here at Yankee Stadium, it's an official game. It is Cleveland 3, New York 3. Fred Stanley leads off in the sixth for Cleveland. He's 1 for 2. He singled in the fourth. The 1-2 pitch. It's a hard grounder to third. Kenny's up with it. Throw to first, 1 out. Here's Roy Foster. He's 0 for 2. He grounded out in the second. He was safe at first on a fielder's choice in the fourth. Then he stole second, stole third, and scored on Eddie Leon's single. The 1-2 pitch. Fly ball, center field. Mercer's there, and he's got it. 2 outs. And here's Eddie Leon. He's 1 for 2. He singled in the fourth, driving in Royce Foster. The 0-2 pitch. Grounder to second. Hansen's up with it. Throw to first. 3 outs. Nothing across for Cleveland in the sixth. We go to the bottom of the sixth. Cleveland 3, New York 3. It'll be Baker, Klein, and Alou for the Yankees in the sixth inning. Frank Baker's 1 for 2. He singled in the fourth. The 1-2 pitch. Caught the inside part of the plate. Strike 3 called. Strikeout number 4 for Mike Paul. Steve Klein, he's 0 for 1. He lined to the second baseman in the third, and he hit in a sacrifice bunt in the fourth. The 0-1 pitch. Grounder to first. Chambliss has it. He'll take it himself. 2 outs. Philippe Alou, he's 1 for 1. He has 2 walks and a single. He's hitting .452 against Cleveland. 3 home runs, 12 RBIs. It's a grounder to second. Leon has it. Throw to first. 3 outs. Nothing across for the Yankees in the sixth. We go to the seventh. Tied at 3. Mike Paul leads off for Cleveland. He's 0 for 2. He has a pair of strikeouts. He's pitching a strong game today. The 0-1 pitch. Grounder to second. Hansen. Throw to first. 1 out. He's only really made 1 misstep. That 3-run homer that Bobby Mercer hit. Vada Pinson. He's 1 for 3. He led off the game with a triple. And he was safe on an error in the fifth. And he came around and scored. The 0-1 pitch. Grounder to third. Kenny. Throw to first. Bang, bang, play. He's safe. Great speed down the line for Pinson. He legged it out. Here's Chris Chambliss. He's 2 for 3. Singled in the first. Singled in the third. Struck out in the fifth. There goes Pinson. Throw to second. He's safe. That's his second stolen base of the day. He has 29 stolen bases on the year. The 0-1 pitch. Ball 1. Ball 2. Hits a grounder to second. Hansen throws the first. 2 outs. Pinson takes third. There's excitement in Cleveland this weekend, though. Tomorrow, opening their season at Cleveland Stadium, the Cleveland Browns take on the Houston Oilers. Browns had a terrible season last year. They were 3-11. The worst season in their history. But they got a new coach. And they didn't didn't look very good in the preseason. They only won one out of the 6 games, but that's preseason. So we'll see what happens. Ted Eulander's up. He's over 3. Base hit into center field. Pinson scores. The Indians take the lead. Mercer got a late jump on that one. It's 4-3 Cleveland. Here's Greg Nettles. He's over 3 today. Slider low, ball 1. High, ball 2. Ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes. That caught the inside corner. Strike 1. Ball 4. Runners on first and second. 2 outs. Here's Ray Fosse. He's over 3 today. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. Low and inside. Ball 1. That almost hit the ground. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. 1 ball. 2 strikes. It's a grounder to second. Hanson. Throw to first. 3 outs. But the Indians get 1 run. 2 hits, no errors. They left 2 men on base. We go to the bottom of the 7th. Cleveland 4, New York 3. Top of the 5th in Montreal. St. Louis leads the Expos 10-0. Joe Haig, he's 3 for 3 today. It's still Bob Gibson against Steve Renko. Gibson's looking for win number 18. Bottom of the 6th in Pittsburgh. Mets lead the Pirates 3-0. Ted Martinez is 3 for 4. That's Tug McGraw against Bob Johnson. Top of the 7th at Philadelphia. The Cubs trying to remain alive in the National League East. They lead the Phillies 6-4. Oscar Gamble hit his 10th home run for Philadelphia. That's Joe Decker against Wayne Twitchell. Top of the 6th in Detroit. Baltimore's taking a 3-2 lead. It's Dave McNally looking for win number 13. He spent much of the second half of the season injured against Mickey Lolich. And bottom of the 3rd in Minnesota, the Royals and the Twins tied at 3. That is Bruce Del Canton against Pete Ham. Bottom of the 7th for New York will be Ron Swoboda, Bobby Mercer, and Roy White. We are entering the most dangerous time of the game for the Indians. Their bullpen has just given up too many games this year. That's been probably the weakest part of their the team this year. The hitting's been all right. Starting pitching been up and down kind of, but the bullpen is just really been sketchy. The Indians are looking for win number 59. They are 58-93 right now. Here's Ron Swoboda. He's 1 for 3. He singled in the 3rd. And he grounded to second in the 4th. That looked like could have been a double play ball, but Eddie Leon threw Frank Baker out at the plate. First pitch, it's base hit in the left field. Here's Bobby Mercer. He's 1 for 3. He hit a 3-run homer in the 3rd. Foul tip, strike 1. High and outside ball 1. So Mercer is responsible for all of the Yankees' runs today. Ball 2. Base hit up the middle. Swoboda around second. He'll take third. So we have runners at the corners. Nobody out. And here's Roy White, who is 1 for 3. He singled in the third. He was safe on an error in the fifth. Indians draw the infield in. It's too low. Ball 1. Right down the middle. Strike 1. Base hit up the middle. Swoboda scores. They tie the game. Runners on first and second. Nobody out. Here's John Ellis, who's 1 for 3. He singled in the second. Steve McGorry's warming up for the Indians. High and inside, ball 1. Foul tip. It's a fly ball in the left field. Eulander drifting over. He's got it. Mercer tags. He'll take third. 1 out. Here's Jerry Kenny. He's 0 for 2 today with a walk. They're pulling the infield in again. Oh, he got hit right on the hip. Here's Ron Hansen. He is 0 for 3. Infield stays in. Bases loaded. He's 3 for 8 with the bases loaded. Grounder to Stanley. Throw to the plate. To first. No, he's safe at first. Here's Frank Baker. He's 1 for 3. He singled in the fourth. We have 2 outs. Bases loaded. Ball 2. It's a shallow fly ball in the right field. Foster coming in. He's got it. 3 outs, but the Yankees get 1 run. 3 hits, no errors. They left the bases loaded. We played 7. It is Cleveland 4, New York 4. For the Indians, in the 8th, it will be Fred Stanley, Roy Foster, and Eddie Leone. The 0-2 pitch. Fly ball in the right field. Swoboda going back. He's on the track. He's got it. 1 out. Here's Roy Foster. He's 0 for 3 today. He has 2 steals, and he scored a run. The 0-1 pitch. Another fly ball in the right field. Swoboda coming to his right. Has it. 2 outs. Here's Eddie Leone. He's 1 for 3. He singled in the 4th, scoring Roy Foster. The 2-1 pitch. Base hit up the middle. Pinch hitting for Mike Paul is Lou Camilli. Lou Camilli, he's hitting 225, no home runs, 12 RBIs. But as a pinch hitter, he's hitting 412 with 5 runs batted in. Outside, ball 1. Ball 2. It's a bouncer to first. Alou takes it himself. 3 outs. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. They left 1 on base. We go to the bottom of the 8th. It is Cleveland 4, New York 4. Coming in a pitch for Cleveland is Steve Mingori. Mingori is making his, let me see. This is his 3rd appearance since coming back with his broken jaw. His 34th appearance on the year. He has a record of 1-1 with 6 saves, an ERA of 3.96. Steve Klein leads off for the Yankees. Oh, they're calling him back in. Thurman Munson will pinch hit. Thurman Munson hitting 247 with 16 home runs, 70 runs batted in. He is hitting 167 with 1 run batted in as a pinch hitter. It's fly ball into center field. Pinson's going back. He's got it. 1 out. There's Felipe Alou. He's 1 for 2. He walked in the 1st, singled in the 3rd, walked in the 4th, grounded out in the 6th. The 1-2 pitch. Grounder to short. Stanley's up with it. Throw to first. 2 outs. And here's Ron Swoboda. He's 2 for 4 today. Flied out in the 1st, singled in the 3rd. Grounded into a fielder's choice in the 4th and singled in the 7th. The 1-0 pitch. Grounder to second. Leone to throw to first. 3 outs. Nothing across for the Yankees in the 8th. We go to the 9th. And we are tied at 4. Roger Hambright in the pitch for the Yankees. He's making his 16th appearance of the year. He has a record of 0-2 with 4 saves, an ERA of 5.79. 18 2/3 innings. He has given up 18 hits. 6 of those are home runs. He's walked 3. He has struck out 11. Hambright was called up on July 19th. Vada Pinson leads off. He is 2 for 4. He led off the game with a triple. He was safe on an error in the 5th and singled on the infield in the 7th. He has 2 steals today also. The 0-2 pitch. Fly ball in the right field. Swoboda going back. He's on the track. He's got it. 1 out. Here's Chris Chambliss. He's 2 for 4. Single in the 1st. That scored Pinson. Singled in the 3rd. Struck out in the 5th and grounded out in the 7th. The 2-0 pitch. Fly ball in the left field. Roy White coming in. Got it. 2 outs. Ted Uhlaender, he's 1 for 4. He singled in the 7th. And that scored Veda Pinson, which was the go-ahead run at the time. The 0-1 pitch. Fly ball in the right field. Swoboda's there, and he's got it. 3 outs. We go to the bottom of the 9th. We are tied at 4. Steve McGorry still comes back out to pitch, leading off in the 9th for the Yankees. Bobby Mercer. It'll be Mercer, White, and Ellis. Mercer is 2 for 4. Hit a 3-run homer in the 3rd, and he singled in the 7th. The 2-0 pitch. Pops it up. Fosse's under it, and he's got it. 1 out. Here's Roy White. He's 2 for 4. Singled in the 3rd. Singled in the 7th, and that scores Swoboda with the tying run. Hitting .322 in September. Ball 4. Ed Farmer heating up in the Indians bullpen. Here's John Ellis. He's 1 for 4. He singled back in the 2nd. High, ball 1. Strike 1. High and outside, ball 2. High and inside, ball 3. 3 balls, 1 strike. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Fouls it back. Count remains full. Fouls it back. Count remains full. Ball 4. So the Yankees have runners on 1st and 2nd. 1 out. Here comes Johnny LaPon. That'll be all for Steve McGorry. And coming in a pitch is Ed Farmer. Farmer's making his 39th appearance of the year. His record of 4 and 4 with 2 saves, an ERA of 5.70. Jerry Kenney up for New York. He's 0 for 2. Was safe on a fielder's choice. He walked, flied out, and was hit by a pitch. Low, ball 1. Ball 2. Swing and a miss, strike 1. White's going for 3rd. He's safe. The Indians have to draw the infield in. And they'll have to draw the outfield in as well. Ball 3. That was in the dirt. Fouls it back. Count remains full. Full count. 1 out. Bases loaded. Game tied. Bottom of the 9th. No, now the bases are loaded. Ball 4. Ron Hansen. He's 0 for 4. Infield remains in. Outfield remains in. 1 out, bases loaded. Ball 1. Ball 2. Foul tip, strike 1. Outside, ball 3. 3 balls, 1 strike. Strike 2 called. Full count, 2, 1 out. Strike 3 called. It's the 3rd time Hansen struck out today. Here's Frank Baker. He is 1 for 4. He singled back in the 4th. High and inside, ball one. Ball two. Oh. Inside on the black, strike one, the curveball. High and outside, ball three. Oh, the way the bullpen, they can't throw strikes. It's been killing me all year. Just caught the inside corner. Strike two. Full count. 2 outs. Ball four. Forces in a run, and that's the game. Yankees win 5-4. Like I said, the most dangerous time of the game for the Indians is when the bullpen has to come in. Yankees get 5 runs, 9 hits, 3 errors. Indians 4 runs, 8 hits, 2 errors. Roger Hambright was the winner. He's 1-2. With Steve McGorry takes the loss. He's 1-2. Time of this game was 2 hours and 47 minutes. Mike Paul had to start for the Heat. He had a decent game, except for that home run that Mercer hit. Vada Pinson went 2 for 6. He had a triple, 2 stolen bases. Mercer went 2 for 5, 3 runs batted in. Roy White went 2 for 4 with a stolen base. Star of the game was Bobby Mercer. And hope you enjoyed this game. It was exciting, even though the Indians lost. I believe they've got one more game that can be telecast. It'll be next week when they play the Orioles. I think they play the Orioles. It's the same weekend that the Cleveland Browns will be in Baltimore playing the Colts. So once again, final score was New York 5, Cleveland 4. Hope you enjoyed this game. Thank you for watching.